I am simply delighted that Freshman has come to fruition after years in the making. The novel started as Coach Clayton's heartfelt wish to bring to life in print the fictitious story of two young men coming of age in the 1970s. I always thought Freshman should be a book when I first learned about the two young men faced with all kinds of challenges at a fictitious HBCU. Mark and Charles were two opposite sides of being two peas in a pod. Charles was the hype man to Mark's more serious and at times goody goody ways. And then there was Gloria, a little brazen hussy on steroids. She demonstrated why Danielle was the kind of young sister Mark needed to take a second look at. I'm delighted to have learned about all the members of Freshman's quirky cast of characters when Coach Clayton thought he needed to bring them to life on the printed page. Kudos, Coach Clayton.
Tyson,
What's
congratulations,
good with
man. You're a head coach now. You get to feel all the real fire.
It's, we all want to be a head coach, but once you get to be one, it ain't never what people tell you it is.
The biggest thing is really trying to get 10 to 15 coaches, how many they like you, to get on the same page as you. I'm gonna tell you what a coach told me. Invest in the kids, you automatic win. I think that's one of the biggest gifts we got at the schools I've been at, or the jobs I done took, is just dive into the kids and block out all the other stuff. And I think it's easy to win. Because one thing about kids, they are really truly the same. It's just the grown people have changed. The parents are not the same, but how I coach Tyson. I'm old school. I haven't lost one because I'm coaching too hard. I lost one because they can't have their way. And that's my 2 cent advice. Everybody above us, we've been asking to pay us.
Well, we coming to y'all.
That's what I know that we're doing a home and home. I know that. I'm just talking about in general. Like with big schools, man, nobody around here won't play. And then the 4A don't have this kind of what Mickey was talking about. They don't have no district. We got 4A teams. The people in my region don't even want to play. It makes no sense to play nobody in Jacksonville because you're going to play them in the playoff if you get past the second round. So it makes no sense. But the people in my region without no district, you're only going to play in the first round. It's not going to change then. If our team is superior, better than yours, it's better. These people want to play your JV program, but don't want to play varsity. It makes no sense. So I told our coaches, we get 5 JV games or 4 JV games. Man, we got 6 games right now.
Good evening. With me today, I have 2 of the area coaches with me. I have a coach who kind of speaks for himself. That's Corey Fuller. And we like to welcome him from Gadsden County. He's always been one of our favorites. And then we got new to the head coaching profession at Lincoln High School, who's waited his time and his opportunity and is chomping at the bits over there at Lincoln. We got Jimmy Tyson. Thank y'all. We welcome y'all being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I really wanted to find out, and I was hoping that you gentlemen would be able to explain some of this redistricting to our listeners. As I looked over it, I was so confused. And Corey, I heard you talking about it, off air before we started. And one of the things is now you don't necessarily have to play a school in your district now like you used to. Please explain to us to the listening audience exactly how that goes about your scheduling and how you get seated if you don't play everybody. Kind of help some of our listeners and viewers understand.
From 8 to 5A, everybody has districts. From 4A down to 1A, there's no districts. And it's the craziest thing in the world. Out of 67 counties, I think we're the 67 poorest district for education. And we have no district games, and nobody in our region going west of us don't want to play. Like, we could be playing the Panama City, Rutherford Bay, Mariana, schools they put in our region, but they don't even want to play. But they'll come and play a Bluntstown, which is cool with me. It's cool, but it's not cool. And the problem is the people at the state of Florida, they're not really taking all this stuff in consideration because there's not enough people. I would say this and say it to their face. There's not enough people like me and Coach Tyson on the board that's in the meetings. The meetings are one-sided. So I'm frustrated from that level. It's already hard enough to try to get a group of kids when the foundation is broke at the bottom to understand the importance of being involved in sports. When you're coming from an environment that's financially stricken, the one way of saving kids is through sports. And so when those sports are not the driving force behind it, it kind of hurts the whole picture. It hurts the whole situation. But like we will play Lincoln. We tried to play Godby. We're gonna play Niceville, supposed to be, but they're gonna pay us money to play them. And I still think we'll be able to put a nice product on the field. Now we lost a lot of kids. We didn't have JV football last year. We lost 25 seniors. And we had a lot of kids sign Division I or 1AA scholarship. So, but we'll put our best foot forward and work with what we got. But I think the state is doing an injustice, man. Football was so much better, and it made people work hard and care a little bit more about the kids when we was the old school way. One team win district. We are adapting to what is going on with our society with kids and people today. Everything is like a entitlement. Like you can be second, and we happy with being second because you get to go to the playoffs. If I don't deserve to go, I don't deserve to go. I heard Bill Parcells say this one time, and I never played for him. If you're 5-5, that's what you are. There's no other way to slice it. People make excuses and all this. I'm just not an excuse guy. And so that's my take on it. It's okay, but I think it's not as sound as it should be for everybody involved.
Okay, I'm gonna come back because I got a question to ask you on that. But Coach Tyson, what's your thought there?
I'll speak more for the 5A up to 8A, because we do have districts, but the way they're realigned, it puts us in some different scenarios and some difficulties scheduling. In ours, we are now 6A, and we're in the district with Rickers, but other than Rickers, all our other district opponents are Panama City, Pensacola area. So that hits on travel. So we have to travel to them or they have to travel to us. Then we have some issues finding some other games because same thing, we can't find teams that'll play us. And it kind of changes the dynamic of how high school football in Tallahassee looks. Because now some of the rivalries and the games you have come to know have changed and we're not playing certain teams. We won't play Childs this year. And I know we've been playing them for the last 20 years. But it's just with COVID and all the stuff and the realignments happening so late, it's been really hard on trying to schedule and set up travel and all those things. We've just solidified our schedule, hopefully, today.
Well, Coach, you said something, and speaking for the 5 to 8A, so the teams that are in your district have to play you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have a 5-team district, and all our teams have to play each other, and then we have to find 5 other games to play.
And you have a lot of travel. You got one local team, and the rest of them are what, 3.5 hours away?
We will be road warriors this year.
Well, see, then I look at Coach Fuller, and he goes, I mean, his is like from Jacksonville all the way over to Panama City. I mean, he goes as far east as you could go to play, and then almost as far west as you can go to play. And then, because you don't have a district, they don't have to play.
Right.
So how do they go about seeding you for the state tournaments, for the playoffs?
It's going to be all point. Theoretically speaking, if we continue with the schedule we got and get it solidified, we can be in the playoffs with an 0-10 record because of the people we're playing. And then on top of us finishing so high in the playoffs last year, but that does us no good for finances. It's so hard to build a program, and it's just so hard me to just go out and beg people, even with Jim and them, like, you know what, you automatically had 4 games locally in Tallahassee when you played Rickers, Leon, Gadsden, Lincoln, and Childs. So you had 4 games. It would have been easy for him to fill his schedule. But, you know, a few years back, nobody ever brought this up. When we was at Gadsden, after we did what we did those 2 years, they went in a room by themselves.
Changed the rule.
And changed the rule. Nobody ever said nothing. They made it where the black schools don't have to play the white schools. And they try to use the excuse in volleyball and other sports. You really talking about non-revenue sports. So what you did is stricken the schools that win, like Lincoln and Gadsden and Rickard. You stricken the schools that are minority-driven football teams from the finance standpoint. So what I mean, okay, if Tyson can't play all the local schools, he's gonna lose money. He got to go on the road. But see, nobody ever brought this up. None of our black leaders, not 50 years of rivalry, they just let go away because looked like Corey Fuller and the Cougars was beating up on everybody and putting a lot of points. But I would say this, and I would tell them to their face, because I'm not afraid to say what I got to say in front of other people about this. When Gene Cox was beating Rickers when I was a little boy, 76-0, nobody said anything, and it was okay. But now it's not okay. You talking about schools the size of other schools, but won't play, and they're less than 5 miles apart, 10 miles apart. That makes no sense. This man got to be trying to find games. So you figure a school like mine may have 2 parents in the booster club. Now they'll try to tell me, well, that's on you and your support, but that's just not right. And then even with COVID, they screened out all the schools around here for playing all the Leon County schools last year. You know, I'm so bad because it hurt us so bad. Like, it's schools that I don't want to play. I won't say their name, but I have no choice to play them because I already can't get football games. And if my kids can't play football games, they can't get opportunity to go to college. And so I'm playing schools that I said I would never play again because of how they acted during COVID, but I need the games. But it's going to come a day and time when I be able to say what I got to say, because I know when I get through at this level of football, I will be done coaching high school football if I decide to move on again. But I'm telling you right now, this stuff is a lot harder on the programs that are minority driven, finance-wise, and nobody seems to care about that. And Jimmy's at a school where they get good support, but it's still going to it's going to hurt his book. And when you can't financially support the program financially you want to, it hurts the program from being built. Because you got to run to the district, and they're just not going to put money into football. That's just the bottom line.
Jimmy, I see you nodding your head with what Coach Fuller's saying.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to look at other revenue streams because, again, we'll spend a lot more money because we have to travel so much. Just looking at some of the buses to go over to Jacksonville and go to Pensacola in those areas, we're talking, $3,000, $4,000 just to pay for a travel, where in the local area, that would be a $300 bus. But now that we got to take our show on the road, that's money that's coming out of our program that we can use other ways. So we have to look for other revenue streams to kind of offset the loss we take from so much travel.
Now,
it's just hard, man.
My question is, I noticed that this district realignment and everything is for 1 year, and then they go back to change it again for a 2-year pack. So I was a little confused with that. I mean, actually, I'm confused with a lot of it. I really am. When they started changing this a couple years back, and all the rivalries just instantly disappeared between majority high schools and minority high schools. I mean, certain teams just absolutely stopped playing each other right off the rip. And when
I just spoke on that. I just spoke on that to you, and it's the truth. And the thing about it is, none of our black leaders, none of our black board members said anything. So, man, it is what it is. That's why I went back to Gadsden County. You think about it, I left an undefeated team to go to a team with 0-18. You can suppress my people, but I ain't going to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. That's just me. I'm not going to be a part of it because I know where we come from. Jimmy ain't from Tallahassee, but he spent the majority of his adult life in Tallahassee. So he is a Tallahassean, but he comes from an area down south where they love football and they get supported by their people. This is ridiculous what we have to do. In Miami, everybody play everybody. It doesn't matter if they're in the same district, same region, same class, nothing. The good teams play each other.
Mm-hmm. But you got coaches like that in almost every sport. They don't want to play other teams that are competitive with them. And
No, Mickey. They don't want to lose to black coaches like me and him. Mm-hmm. That's what that is. That's not, it has nothing to do with the team. Because you know why? Before I got these Gadsden, the teams, how you doing? The same teams that was playing these Gadsden, now they won't play these Gadsden. So is it the team, the school, or is it the coach?
Okay. One thing I know about you, and I respect you about you, you're going to speak the truth. You're gonna speak the truth and let the chips.
Okay,
fall.
ask Jimmy. This is his first time being a head coach, but he's been an assistant coach, he's been a defensive coordinator all these years. He's been sitting there when they've been trying. Jimmy, do you see a difference now that you're the head coach? How hard is it for black coaches to get games with teams you see these weaker schools, these 1A schools where Jimmy probably could be paid to come to play him? They won't play him, but they'll play another school the same classification as him. Am I wrong, Jimmy?
Now, I'm going to disagree with Coach Fuller on this because, to be honest, most people don't even know who I am, but they know who Lincoln Trojans are. They know the tradition, and now they have an opportunity where they don't have to play us, where before that opportunity wasn't given to them. But now they know, okay, it's Lincoln, the tradition, so we are not playing them.
So they're not playing Lincoln because Lincoln traditionally has a good program.
Yes.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I know both of you are busy, and I know that we could talk for a long time, but I want you to know from Mickey Clayton to both of you, I appreciate you taking some time to answer some questions. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach from INSiiGHTS Sports. Boy, y'all know I love me some barbecue. I found the bestest barbecue sauce. It's online at BBQ Jank, BBQ Jank, the Jank. Boy, I'm messing around with that stuff. I no longer have to mess around trying to make my own. I'll put that in a pot, put it on my meat. I'll claim it, but it's from the Jank, the official barbecue sauce of INSiiGHTS Sports. You better order some for your next tailgate early.
I disagree with Jimmy too. Nobody know who he is, but he's taking the modest approach, like you said, taking the high road. But nobody don't know who he is. But it's okay. But Jimmy, I want you to know this from me, from one brother to another. I want y'all to win every game y'all play, except when you play Gadsden County High, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I see you, I will cry to you before I lie to you. I see myself, so I want you to do good for that reason only, because I know we don't really get opportunity like people think we get to be head coaches, man. So all the prayers to you in the program. Y'all do great, man. Continue to save kids' lives.
Appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you. I might have to keep some of that because that was pretty good stuff right there. But
All
I
right,
appreciate y'all. We're going to talk again real soon. Coach, anytime you need me now, holler at me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Love y'all, boys. Y'all be safe, man. God bless.
All right, brother.
You too.
I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.com.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.